Hello, everyone. Happy April. If you're watching this video, it means that you're probably curious on how to find the right clients. So, today we're going to do a breakdown of three breakdowns of how to find the right clients. Now, I won't be able to sit and give you the entire playbook because every industry is going to be just a little bit different, right? But there are certain things that I have in mind that I think could help some entrepreneurs out there with finding the right clients. So, here are three things that you want to let go of, okay? The first thing that you want to let go of is the focus on price. Unless your brand is wrapped around being a commodity, you want to let go of that because the commodity game is very hard to beat. You have a lot of brands out here in these industries, big corporations, smaller businesses that are playing the commodity game where they're challenging each other on prices, right? On, who has the cheaper price, who has the best deals. That can be a great thing for some customers. However, it can be a challenge because when you start to focus too much on trying to compare yourself to pricing wise, people lose sight of the value of your business and the heart of what it is that you're doing. And we want them focused on the value because that's really ultimately what makes a customer feel like I want to keep coming back here. And also, when prices are not able to be the same, keeps them loyal and wanting to continue spending money with your brand. What do you provide that differentiates yourself from your competitors? So let's let go of the idea of trying to focus on price and start focusing on the value that we provide, the solution that we bring to someone's life. In many industries. Now, if you're an industry that is based off of only price and that's really mainly what you do, then that might be a little different. Like if you're Sally's bargain hunting or, something like that, you may have to think a little bit longer on this one, but you still want to focus on creating an experience that differentiates your brand from your competitors. Um, the reason why you want to do this is because people, like I said, we focus on value, we focus on the experience that we're providing, but sometimes you may not realize it, but you are subconsciously shorting yourself when you're only focusing on selling the price of your products or your services. Oftentimes we want to do that because we're trying to get those clientele, and I'm not saying that you can't start off doing that, but the earlier that you make the switch, the easier of a transition it's going to be. If you continue selling based off of price mainly and you focus on value and experience secondly, it's going to be harder for your brand to make that transition and flip that switch to we're focusing on the quality of the service that we're providing in the experience versus we're focusing on the product. So, what I focus on making sure my clients know is that my priority is not to try to have the best deals. My priority is to bring them amazing results. My priority is to help them elevate their brand. My priority is for them to be able to look back at their business and say, wow, I've made so much change in my brand. I'm a completely different person, or look at all the growth. Sometimes I sit back with my clients and we just talk about where they started versus where they are now. And we start laughing because of how much growth that has happened. Because of the conversations that we've had behind the scenes on how to show up for our business and, how to elevate their brand. So, my focus is not on trying to be the cheapest out here. My focus is on providing an amazing experience. And with the proper funding, I'm able to provide that experience. And I'm confident in my ability to do so with the right funding. So I'm looking for those clients that want to, provide that funding so I can provide that experience for them. Now, that's me. Everybody's a little different, right? If you're a part of the commodity game, then you might have a different approach, but we don't want to make price our main seller because prices change, the economy changes. And so there needs to be more to your brand than discounts or prices that makes a person say, this is my forever home, or this is where I want to be, or this is what I want to endorse or invest in. So that's the first thing, let go of price. The second thing is let go of clients that don't align. And I think that this one is a really hard thing for people because when you're working with people in business, you don't want to let go of clients. That sounds absurd, right? But every brand, no matter how big or small, has a target audience. They have clients that they're speaking to. And sometimes you're being a lot more productive to let that client go so they can find the right provider that is going to service them in the way that they would like to be serviced or that aligns with their preferences or their vision versus trying to hold everybody and still trying to work with people even when you guys are not the right fit. It's kind of like a relationship. You get in a relationship and you realize you guys are not the right fit, but you still keep trying to force the relationship instead of letting them, just releasing them and finding somebody else. Um, it's the same thing in business. And the quicker you learn to release people when they are just not the right fit and offer that as a solution, the quicker you are going to be able to find the clients who are ready to take on being your client because they understand the value that you're providing and their values align with the values that you're providing. So let go of trying to hold on to every single client, let go of trying to get every single client, because even though they say all money isn't good money, and I truly do believe that, there's another layer to this of sometimes trying to hold on to stuff is not the best route to go. Sometimes it's better to release. So that's the second thing that you want to do. And to further explain why, if you are spending all of your time trying to hold on and retain clients that are not the right fit for you as a service provider, as a product provider, you are spending that time on clients that you know are not the right fit instead of transitioning your focus to clients that are strictly looking for your services, your products, and your solutions. So all of that time that you could have been spending with the clients that are your perfect fit, you're spending trying to make things work with clients that are not your perfect fit. And it doesn't mean anything negative if they're not your perfect fit. I should clarify. Sometimes you just have different ways of doing things. Sometimes you just have different perspectives. Sometimes you just don't see yourself bringing value on the level that you think a person could bring to their specific project because it doesn't align with you. And that's okay. Sometimes we just lose passion for projects, and that's all right. But the quicker you address that and let them go, the faster you can find the right clients for you. And I'm at a sweet spot right now where when I get on my consultations, I have such an amazing time. I get to talk with my clients. We laugh, we talk about life, we connect. It's such a beautiful thing. And that's because I have learned to recognize when someone is not my ideal client, and I've learned to let them go. And how you let them go is up to your discretion. You can do it immediately. You can say, hey, I don't feel like this is going to be a good fit. I'm going to have to release you and move on to the next person and let them know, I'm all supportive of you. I wish you the best, but this isn't going to be a good fit. You can even recommend someone that you think might be a great fit for them. If you feel like someone might be a great fit, if you don't feel like someone might be a great fit, you don't have to recommend it. You don't have to share too much information. You can simply say that we're just not a good fit at this time. You can release them with time and with professionalism. You can continue to service them and take care of them. And after that service is complete, you can make it known going forward that you just aren't going to be the right fit, or you don't even have to make it known. You can simply service them. And then once it gets to that space where they want to be serviced again, you can let them know they can apply by giving the information that you would like. And if you feel like it's a great fit, you can take on the project. And if you don't, you can let them know, I'm not going to be taking on this project. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic, but I just think that we have to get to a place where we learn that sometimes letting go is the best service you can do for yourself and for others that you are trying to be of service to. Last but never least, you need to let go of the guilt of setting expectations and providing clarity on what you will and will not tolerate as a professional. Because there's a certain guilt that comes around creating standards and boundaries. And part of the reason why is because of how people react to it. When you give boundaries and standards, some people have a reaction to want to push past that boundary. I'll give you an example. You might tell a friend, hey, I can't talk from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Only call me after 12 p.m. Some people are going to respect that boundary. Some people are going to be itching to try to break it because they feel validated in other people doing special things for them instead of finding the validation in themselves. That is not everyone, but I've had experiences where people have told me this information and then I've got to watch it in full time. So you're going to have that one person that after you said you are not available from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., they are still going to try to communicate with you from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. because you said that you weren't available. Everyone is not like that, but some people are. And then when you do not show up as available, even though you already communicated, it creates a weird energy between the two of you. And you feel as if you've done something wrong, when in reality, you've expressed your boundaries. You've stated what it is that you're able to provide or not provide. And you've provided clarity. And that's all you can do. I just created a post the other day where I said, I can't be responsible for other people's perceptions of my boundaries or my standards or my expectations. I can only be responsible for reinforcing them and honoring them. What people think about it, how they react to it is not my business. That is their own business that they need to deal with on their own time, on their own personal affair. And we oftentimes want to make everybody else's problems and thoughts and opinions our problems as people, not even just as professionals. And that translates into our professionalism. That translates into our business relationships, because instead of setting a clear expectation and saying, hey, I will not tolerate X, Y, and Z because I have a program I have to stick to, we feel like well, I'll just provide it for everybody and it's fine. We'll just do it this way. And what that does is it creates more stress for you as a service provider, especially if you know what you're doing. Because in many cases, we have service providers and product providers that know what they're doing, they know how they're doing it, and they have a system in place for a reason. But instead of trusting their system, they go against their system to try to accommodate people, when in reality, that's not what needs to be done. Accommodation isn't always a solution, especially when you're providing results for a client, because they're not focused on accommodations at the end of the day, they're focused on results. So, and what I mean by that is, if a client hires you to print some business cards, and normally you tell them, hey, the normally when I print a business card, it takes me 3 days to design it, so you'll have to wait about 3 days. And they say, well, I can't wait 3 days. I mean, there are rush services where people can pay to have something done at a faster rate because you can hire on labor to do that. But let's say you can't. And instead of you saying, well, 3 days is what I'm able to do, you say, well, okay, I can get it done in one day. So now you've gone and you've rushed to get it done in one day, right? You go back to this person after trying to get it done in one day, and you look at the work and you realize the work is not as beautiful as it could have been. So when this person takes these business cards and they go show it to their friends and their family and their clients, and they say, whoa, this looks a little wonky, what's going on? They don't care about the fact that you accommodated them. They don't care about the fact that you told them that you would have it done in one day. They care about the results. And that's where we as service providers or product providers have to take that responsibility and take ownership and grab it by the horns, because it's your business and you are the professional, and let people know what you are and are not doing in your business so that they can make the decision on if you are the right service provider for them, or if they need to go and find someone that aligns better with what their idea of getting things done is. But they don't care about the accommodations, they care about the results at the end of the day. Accommodations are a temporary band-aid, but the results at the end of the day are what speak louder than anything else. If I get the project completed and I don't get great results, or it doesn't look beautiful, or it doesn't look professional, or it looks like it's been rushed, or it looks off, that's what I care about, and I'm going to be upset about that. But if I get beautiful results and great business cards or a great experience, guess what? I'm going to be excited about that. So don't focus on trying to be a people pleaser in business, because people pleasing has no place in any area of your life, if you ask me. But in business, it's absolutely not going to work for you. Client pleasing, taking care of the clients and taking care of the project that has been requested of you, that is extremely important. Obviously, very important. But people pleasing just to do things because you want someone to like you, liking is not going to be the focus. What needs to be the focus for you in business is providing great results, is being a beast at whatever it is that you do. That should be your focus, not people liking you. Because as a consultant, as a mentor, as a coach, I've had plenty of days where I walked into a session, and even though I was excited about that session, I'm very clear that the things that I might have to say, that person may not like or want to hear. And a lot of the clients that I work, or all of the clients that I work with, understand that I'm giving them this insight because I want to support their business and I want to support their growth. But sometimes in the moment, our emotions take over our logic thinking. So we're not responding with, well, she's saying this to me because she wants me to grow. I really appreciate this information. We're responding with defensiveness. We're responding with being upset. We're responding with taking it as an attack instead of realizing that this is coming from a person that wants to see you succeed. So in that moment, if I was focused on people pleasing, I would say, oh, yeah, everything looks great. But in reality, everything doesn't look great. In reality, these are not the way that we do things. In reality, this is not a productive mindset to have. So I have to express that and I have to communicate that. My top priority is not having the cheapest price, and it's not people liking me. Because if everybody likes you, I'm not saying you're doing something wrong, but I would start raising eyebrows, because either somebody's lying, or I'm going to ask you, are you doing what you're wanting to do? Because usually when you are doing what you're wanting to do and you're pursuing your calling and your passion and you're doing it with intention, everybody is not going to like you and everybody is not going to agree all the time, and that's okay. But your priority is not people liking you as a professional. Your priority is getting the job done with excellence. It's providing the service. It's giving your expertise that you have seen and you have proven does work. That's what your job is about, because at the end of the day, that client wants to be happy with the results. So I'm going to repeat one last time: 3 breakdowns on how to find the right clients. Number 1, let go of the obsession over price. Oh, I have a discount there. Let it go. Even though sometimes we want to help people, let it go. I would even recommend, if you're going to do something, just do it for free as a community service and allow everybody to come as a group. But let go of the discount, deal thing, because it just doesn't work. Because when you're trying to provide a certain level of quality and you don't have the funding to do that, your vision gets lost a little bit. Because if I want to provide you with $2,000 worth of a marketing experience, but I only have $100, my vision gets lost in that. So let go of price and focus on quality. The second thing is let go of clients that don't align. If it doesn't make sense, let it go. If you don't feel like you're able to adhere to their preferences, let it go. Because it's better that you let them go so they can find someone that aligns with them than to keep trying to hold on to people that you don't feel passion for providing that product or service for, because now you're taking away from the people that you do feel passionate about providing that service for. And when you're passionate about stuff, it shows in your productivity and in your results. And when you have wonderful results, you receive wonderful reviews. And when you receive wonderful reviews, you get wonderful referrals. So you may not see it, but holding on to that client that you just know is not a great fit for you is going to hurt you more than it's going to help you, and it's going to hurt them more than it's going to help them. Because while you might be releasing them, might give them an opportunity to reflect on what they're really needing, or if the standards and expectations that they're setting are realistic for the funding status that they're at. I mean, these are things that we have to consider, but when we don't have that dialogue and we don't let people go, we never get there. So let go of trying to hold on to every single client, because every single client is not your client. The next thing, last but never least, create standards and expectations. Don't be afraid to create your expectations and standards for what you will and will not tolerate as a professional based off of your system, because you have to have some kind of standards. You have to have a system that you have in place, and people are either going to respect that system and you take them on, or you're going to find other people that align with that system and are okay with that system. And it starts with contracts. It starts with written communication. It starts with creating a point of contact. These are all things that you can do. Create a professional point of contact where people are able to be assisted, but create your expectations, stand on those expectations, and stay consistent at that. Because the more consistent you are, the more likely you're going to run into the people who appreciate what it is you're offering and are ready to receive it. Hopefully this helps someone out there who's struggling with gaining clients. And if you want more insight like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Boss Babe Blog, or visit our website, bossbabeblog.com, if you're wanting an elevated marketing experience to help your brand expand. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you guys soon.